the Aces won the championship when Asia Wilson hit that shot the other night. We all know that, right? Actually, they probably really won the championship when the Mercury lost game 1 of the finals. Alyssa Thomas missed those 2 free throws. But they officially won the championship in game 4, sweeping Phoenix, cementing themselves as a dynasty. There's really no arguing against that. Asia Wilson cementing her GOAT case. I mean, it's hard to argue against that at this point in time, given what she's already achieved. And they really turned themselves around. I mean, who would have thought the Aces would be in this position the way they started the season? But Asia elevates her greatness. Becky Hammon elevates her greatness. The Mercury don't look so hot in the process, given the fever it gave the Aces with all those hardship players a much tougher time. And Vegas hoists a trophy for the 3rd time in 4 years. That's really the story. Asia Wilson, the story, getting her deserved flowers. I mean, what can you say? She dominated this series. A lot of credit to Aaliyah Boston for the way she defended Asia, because nobody on the Mercury was able to offer that sort of resistance, and frustration got away from the Mercury. Nate Tibbetts gets tossed in the game. I see Alyssa Thomas smiling in one of these screen grabs here. Don't often see Alyssa Thomas smiling, but Tibbetts right in the face of that official. He gets tossed. He's the first coach to get ejected from a WNBA finals, so makes history in that way. Also, the Mercury, the first team to get swept, right? They're the first team to get swept in a best of 7 series in the finals. So congratulations to Dwana Bonner and company for that achievement. Way to go. A lot of Fever fans happy to see that. And then there's the winning side, of course, the joy that comes along with that. And it wasn't just Asia Wilson, right? Asia's going to get so much of the credit. I mean, Jackie Young, one of my favorite players in the entire league. She was absolutely tremendous all playoffs long. Chelsea Gray stepped up when it matters. Melissa Smith, let me give her some credit. She contributed to that team after the trade. Jewel Lloyd went bananas from 3 the other day, hit 4 threes in this game. Dana Evans was a contributor for them. Megan Gustafson was a contributor for them. Evans really, really turned it on in the playoffs. She was really valuable against the Indiana Fever with her speed. Those things really stood out for Vegas, and then they get another championship. Nike fired off the ad early, I believe, or Nike didn't do it. ESPN did it. It aired early, but this was what that was. Pretty good ad by Nike there. It ran early, but hey, it wasn't a mess up because it wound up coming to fruition anyway. Then there was an emotional Asia Wilson with Bam Adebayo. Now that they're officially a couple. Remember when it was like all coy for a while, but no longer. That's official. That's my girl. Got it done. You're all right. Girl. So a genuinely sweet and touching moment there with Bam and Asia. Asia Wilson in this game, 31 points, 9 boards, 4 assists. I know people are also interested in the ratings. I talked about that the other day, where the ratings also came out for games 2 and 3. They were a drop-off from game 1. Game 1 was a great game. I really wouldn't say too many of the other games in the series were great games. Game 3 had a great finish. So very good game. Game 2, not so much. Game 4, not so much. But the numbers were 1.9 million viewers for Game 1, which was like the highest in 25 years. 1.2 million for Game 2, 1.3 million for Game 3. All together, that's the highest in 25 years. A pretty big drop from Game 1 to Game 2. And I believe Game 2 and Game 3 were in the range or even a little bit less than last year's finals. But overall, up 13%, which was about the trend for the WNBA playoffs as a whole, up about 14%. And of course, that's without Caitlin Clark involved. So, those numbers would be even higher if Caitlin Clark was indeed involved, and can be even higher going into the future, which is why the league has as much momentum as it does, which is why the subplots with the commissioner are such a big story. I mean, here was Kathy Engelbert presenting the trophy, which goes to show you how people feel about her right now.
Thank you, Holly. Well, we're here today to celebrate a champion.
You can hear the boos right there coming from the crowd. And that's there's a lot of intrigue about the WNBA offseason, because you have the CBA situation, and we don't know how that's going to get resolved. The end of October is the deadline, or the I guess you can almost call it the soft deadline for the team, because they can push it out a little bit more, of course. Then you've got free agency, if that gets you got expansion drafts, so there'll be that kind of intrigue. And then the entire league is a free agent, not to mention unrivaled again. So hopefully there's more storylines this offseason and more excitement this offseason than maybe there's ever been in the WNBA offseason. I heard Rebecca Lobo talking about that at the end of the broadcast. But the season officially in the books, and I didn't see it coming. I can't tell you I saw the aces coming, at least, as the season went along. And then they went on that run. I mean, that's why Asia won the MVP. That's why I would have voted for her MVP. The way that she tore it up as they won all those games in a row. I think it was 17 by the end of that stretch. And then they go into the playoffs, and they almost get eliminated by the Storm, to be honest, but they survived that series. And then they barely survive the hospital fever. But how's the saying go? Survive and advance. And then they put the belt to the pants of the Phoenix Mercury in the WNBA finals to sort of, cement themselves. Not that they didn't need to be stamped. They were already stamped, but they're double stamped now. Asia Wilson double stamped, Becky Hammon double stamped, the Las Vegas double stamped. And on that stamp, I think it is more than fair to write the word dynasty, because that's what they are at this point.